I definitely see parents who are trying to get either a do-over through their kids or just to build up their own egos through their kids. Like the kid getting into the right Ivy is a positive reflection on them, or being captain of the whatever team is a reflection on them, as opposed to here's a person that my spouse and I have brought into this world who we just want to love and nurture and create the right values within. And then let him or her flourish in whatever way makes sense for them. It doesn't reflect on me at all. We have to live our own lives. We have to achieve our own, we have to stroke our own egos, not do it through our children.
Well, and some parents, though, end up in the overambitious parenting, the travel team trap, through almost no fault of their own, except like us, you sort of weren't paying attention. Some parents just say, I want to put my kid in Little League, but all the good players are playing travel baseball, and so nobody can throw a strike. Some parents told me, well, I just wanted him to have a chance to make the JV squad. And the coach just said, we don't even consider you unless you're playing on our travel squad. And that's part of why I call it a trap. You don't have to be a parent with all your priorities out of order to fall into this. And it's the same with helicoptering. I know parents in our neighborhood who have said they're so glad that our kids play on the front yard because they've been shamed for letting their kids wander around the neighborhood by somebody who says, well, anything could happen. And so there's the people who wrongly believe there's skilled kidnappers around every corner. But then there's people who just say, I don't want to be shunned by my neighbors. And so I'm going to put the leash on my kids as well. And so a lot of the culture just makes it harder for parents to make the right choice for their children. And the right choice is often more freedom, more pickup basketball, and less, travel basketball. As you're saying, the instincts that most parents have are right, and the culture is dragging them away.
The book is called Family Unfriendly. It's by Tim Carney. You can pre-order right now. Let's help Tim get up on the New York Times bestseller list so it can stay in the rotation of how to raise a well child, because his kids are coming up along our kids. And if we can fight back against this cultural madness, we want to. Part of the problem I've noticed is if you don't schedule your kids' afternoon, they're not going to be doing anything. And that's fine. I mean, like they can hang out and read or what, but they're not going to be playing with a friend because everyone's child is in something. No one's ever available. Like everybody's always in this sport or this tutoring or this after school activity. Like it's not like when we were kids my main memories are exploring the woods by myself in Syracuse, New York, in the single digits. Like, talk about abduction territory, right? Like, if you wanted your kid to be abducted, it's like,
yes,
that'd be a good place to put her.
We're the same generation. Our parents said the most common phrase I heard was, "Okay, just be home when the streetlights come on," or if you want to eat, be home by dinner time. Was a lot of what I was told. And sometimes we got lost and we didn't get home for dinner time. I remember once having to stop by the local reverend's house to be like, yeah, we got lost. We just got back into town. My parents aren't giving me dinner. Do you have any leftovers? This was, and our parents weren't doing it wrong. But again, the cultural expectations on this, and so that's why you really have to be countercultural, and you really do have to lead. And that's one of the things I'm trying to accomplish with this book is saying, okay, you have to be the first parent to just let your kid wander the neighborhood and then communicate loudly, hey, we're letting our kids wander the neighborhood. It will be more fun if you guys do it. And we promise it will be fun. And
they're free. They're free many days. Like, let the other parents know these are the days that they don't have anything going on and would love to just play. Even the older kids. Of course, most people do this with their young ones, like schedule play dates so that they can hang out. But as they get older, we just keep filling their days with more activities, and that is actually damaging.
It is. And so we've recently had the American Journal of Pediatrics ran an op-ed saying that the number one cause of the rise in childhood anxiety is the lack of independent play free from supervision by adults. But another reason that adults overschedule their kids is because one parent just said, well, my favorite thing about travel sports is it's the only thing that gets my daughter off of social media and off of her smartphone. And so this is another place that parents need support. And I always talk about support and culture because sometimes a conservative like me thinks, okay, the whole thing is about nuclear family. Good parents can protect you from bad things. But it's so much harder to keep your kids off social media if all of their friends are using it. And so what do? We get together since you talked about a do-over, when you have 6 kids, you get a second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth chance. And with our younger children, we get together with their friends' parents as early as possible and say, we are never giving these girls cell phones. We are never giving these boys smartphones. They might get a dumb phone to text with, but you don't have to do it either. You'll probably regret it if you do it. And guess what? Building that support, having schools that don't allow the phones in school, that's all the community support, the cultural support that parents need to keep their kids off of the social media.
I love that you say in the book, hold on, I wrote it down. This is the pork shoulder analogy. Raising kids is a bit like smoking pork shoulder. It's not going to be quick, and you do need to check the thermometer from time to time, but you'll get the best outcome if you avoid constantly lifting the lid and prodding the meat.
And I'm glad you said that. I need to remember that too. I'm just remembering this morning I was prodding my son a little too much. It's easy to fall into that trap. But again, kids need independence and even boredom. Boredom can be a good thing. But again, just sort of making up your own games as you're running around the neighborhood, that's really good for their health. And there's a lot of reasons I think our culture doesn't like that. Part of it is, again, with fewer kids, parents are more likely to think, I can accomplish their outcome. But a lot of it is the secularization of our culture, Megyn, where people, the only thing that they see as having value is worldly success. And what they see as the point of raising kids is getting them into Harvard or Dartmouth or Princeton. While if you take a supernatural approach, and an approach of most religions, you would think, okay, this child is made in the image of God. I'm going to raise them and love them, and they have value no matter what. And so in a world that doesn't have as much God in it, we're much more likely to have this materialistic view of parenting, which leads to the overambitious parenting.
That is so true. And you spend some time on that, talking about how basically the only people who are still having children are the religious ones. I overstate it, but
no,
the more religious you are,
the
more likely that you are to have some more children.
And I don't think it's about the great homilies about the value of children. Sorry to any of my pastors who have given great homilies, and it's not even specifically about the church teaching. It's mostly about the fact that church communities, they build sort of institutions of civil society. They give you a place to bring your kids. They give you role models. If you go to church, there's somebody 10 years older than you who has 3 kids, and you think, oh, I can do that. I remember sitting behind a pew of a family with 6 kids thinking, when we had just a baby, and I thought, I can't imagine how I can do that, but I know I can, because that's just a normal guy. That's where we got our babysitters from. And then finally, just realigning your values from the worldly to the idea that you're going to love other people. One way I put it is, well, the Bible tells us to feed the hungry and clothe the naked. I have hungry, naked people in my house when I wake up in the morning. They're right there for me. And so that
check.
So the religious communities, it's not just so that they're preaching, be fruitful and multiply. That was God's first commandment in the Bible. But it's more that it builds that community that parents need to support them and to give them sanity, to give them mentoring, to give them camaraderie.
Well, you've been hearing me rave about Cozy Earth for a couple of years now, and for good reason. Talking about how incredibly soft and luxurious their sheets are. I am not alone, of course. They have thousands of customers who have left 5-star reviews on their website, including this one from Hallie. Quote, honestly, the best sheets we have ever had. Absolutely a dream to slip into each night. Everyone deserves to splurge on these sheets, and you will have no regrets. Cozy Earth sheets, available now in 15 awesome colors, are made from viscose from bamboo, making them temperature regulating so you will sleep cool and comfy year-round. Cozy Earth even offers a 100-night sleep trial. Sleep on them, wash them, try them out, and if you're not completely in love, send them on back in within 100 days for a full refund. Experience life-changing luxury with the world's softest sheets. Go to CozyEarth.com, enter my promo code Megyn at checkout to save up to 35% on Cozy Earth's bedding, pajamas, bath towels, loungewear, and more. CozyEarth.com, promo code MK. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.